The media losing their minds right in front of our faces. I have examples of it here in the audio soundbites, but I got to get back to the phones because people have been waiting here for 2 days on some instances. This is Mark in Columbus, Ohio. Great to have you. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, Mr. Limbaugh. How are you?
Fine, dandy.
Awesome. Okay, so I have a little thought here. I want to see if you want to make a prediction for me. Right now, the name Adolf is completely unacceptable. To have anyone in this country, or anyone in the world for that matter, be named Adolf after the 1940s is unacceptable for obvious reasons, and I agree with that. We are now witnessing the PR wizards at ESPN have deemed Robert Lee to be an insensitive name, could, trigger some negative emotions in people. Where does this line stop, and do you think we could get to a point where the name Robert itself is written? My middle name is Robert, my dad's name is Robert, one of my best friends is named Robert. I just wonder where the line stops. And, thanks for taking my call, Mr. Limbaugh. Really
more than... Where does it stop? Yeah, it's a valid question. Where does it stop with the left? It doesn't. That's the whole point. It doesn't stop, folks. They are never satisfied. If you'll notice, they are never happy. They are never content. No matter what they get, no matter how many concessions are made to them, their rage and anger is ongoing. If they succeeded in overthrowing the country, if they succeeded in overthrowing the Constitution, they would not be happy. That would not make them happy because they're incapable of it. Their existence requires rage. Their existence requires demons, enemies. Their existence, these are people who may, in fact, be happy, angry, in the sense that if they're not mad at something or somebody, if they're not constantly enraged, then something is wrong. So where does it stop with names? Depends on a lot of things, geography, events that happen. I don't look at this USC business. The USC mascot, the Trojan, not the soldier, not the condom, has been riding a white horse on the field at USC games for how many decades? Now they learn that Robert E. Lee's horse, also white, was named Traveler. And so now the people at USC are dangerously angry, and they're embarrassed. And they're thinking they've got to do something. They've got to change the name. Even though the Traveler is spelled different ways, Robert E. Lee put 2 L's in the name of his Traveler. And if you're going to get upset about this, if you're going to literally have your life turned upside down, if you're going to start feeling guilty over the fact that you have unknowingly, as a USC student or member of the faculty or booster or alumni, if you're going to get all bothered by the fact that the name of your mascot horse is close to that of Robert E., how much free time must you have in your life to waste time getting mad over something that means nothing? But that's essentially who these people are. And you cannot, my point is, you can't placate them. You can't call them devoted to freedom and equality and make them like you. You cannot support their cause and reduce their anger or reduce their violence. It's a way of life. And by the way, none of them were born this way. All of this is the product of a combination of the way they were raised and however they have been educated and however they continue to be informed. This didn't just happen. I think this is, in many cases, liberalism totally out of control now. In fact, if I had to guess, there are some Democrat leftists. I don't know who, I wouldn't be able to name them, But I think there are a few of them, and they're probably growing in number, who are just as concerned about this mob as anybody else is. They're concerned about it because they know it's going to reflect on them. But they don't dare distance themselves from the mob because then the mob is going to come after them. So they are in the middle of a huge dilemma because they're smart enough to know that this mob is going to really damage the Democrat Party. They know that this mob is not going to be winning elections anytime soon. But yet they don't distance themselves, but they're very much worried about this. Now, there are other Democrats that are cheering it on. Don't misunderstand. I was saying there's some here who are aware of the problem that's been created. I mean, when your party has existed for all of these years to create nothing but dependence, and when you have preached to them that every political opponent is the equivalent of the devil that wants to starve them, like and their kids, or that wants to send them wherever. I mean, the things the Democrats have been saying about Republicans, the things the media has been saying about Republicans and conservatives all of my life and then some, it's coming home to roost.